by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Brewer.
Other way around.
Okay, moved by trustee Brewer, second by trustee Zupan. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer.
Here.
Grant.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Hayes.
Yes.
Todd.
Yes. Here.
Motion carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the sale of the surplus real estate for the price of $1,350,000. The description of the property is 32 acres of vacant land located on the northwest corner of Sauk Trail and Route 394 in Sauk Village.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Brewer. Madam Clerk.
Brewer.
Yes.
Grant.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Todd.
No.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion is carried. I'll entertain public comments relating to this particular meeting. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on the agenda items only. Each speaker is allowed one chance to speak in 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. Pardon me?
There are no agendas for this meeting?
No, the question, okay, the agenda, this is a special meeting. And the agendas were put out there.
Well, it's not up there, is what I'm saying to you.
There's no agendas for the special meeting, 6:30?
Oh, this is the special meeting?
No, 6:30 meeting, special meeting.
We haven't started the 7 o'clock
We
yet.
haven't started 7 o'clock. This is 6:30 special meeting.
We're running over.
The agenda,
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Oh, this was a special meeting.
You said special?
okay, can you hear me? Okay, the agenda should have been on the back desk for the 6:30 meeting. It wasn't?
Later today.
Okay, well, the agenda, the special meeting was really pertaining to the sale of land and the public comment, and you just heard that it was voted on. The public comment is just for the special meeting agenda for this particular aspect, and that's why I was entertaining questions or comments, comments from the audience pertaining to the special meeting only. The 7 o'clock meeting is a little late. We haven't started that yet, so that'll start.
No, this is for the first special meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have questions about the land sale.
Please state your name.
Can the audience know a little bit more about who's interested in purchasing?
She wants your name.
State your name.
Heidi Parker. Like know a little bit more about this.
We were entered into an agreement to sell land that's located, as I stated, on the north west corner.
Do you have a
So-
buyer?
Pardon me?
Is there a buyer?
Yes, it is a buyer.
Can we know more about it?
Right now, well, yes, you will know more about it once we actually sign the papers and everything. Right now, we're trying to do due diligence to find out, well, they have to basically find out, they're going to put up a $15,000 retainer, and then after that, that's when everything will start rolling, and yes, you will know exactly who they are.
So right now,
Right now, we're not spending anything. They're just want to enter into an agreement, and they're going to put up $15,000.
so there will be more votes in the future. There will be votes on this particular item in the future.
Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely talk about this now.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
Take a 5-minute break, and we'll start the 7 o'clock meeting in 5 minutes. Starting at 7:17. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brewer. Here. Grant. Here. Jones.
Here.
Case. Here. Todd.
Here.
And Zupan.
Here.
Okay, the first item is the ordinance on the budget appropriations. Everyone have a copy of that?
Yes.
Everyone get a chance to look it over. And basically what it is the appropriation that we have to look at, because next week we will be voting on the budget, and this is the amount of money that will be appropriating, roughly $18,276,645.77. Are there any questions? You can look and see the back exhibit page, kind of gives you a quick rundown of the revenue and expenditures by most of the funds. Matter of fact, it looks like all of them. So if there's anything any problems or any questions that you have, please let me know between now and hopefully the end of the week so we can try to answer them for you. So next week we will be having our budget hearing at 6 o'clock, and then quite naturally 7 o'clock we will vote on the budget.
I would just add that if anybody is interested, Exhibit A happens to be page 30 of the revised version of the budget.
Any questions? Okay. Item B. An ordinance that approves the 2017-18 call pay schedule for members of the Sauk Fire Department and Emergency Management Agency. This is basically a rate of pay that I kind of thought that it hasn't been changed. I want to say six or 7 years. And right now, as you can see on Exhibit A in the back,
We don't have Exhibit A.
okay, well, when you get it, you'll see that it has the pay that would, used to be the, emergency management would get you $6.25 and, per call. So my suggestion was to raise it up to, and everyone starting at $9.20, I think it's $9.25 or $9.50. And then go from there it's only $1 for anyone else after that. I think the firefighters were a little over, was $8.25, so just $1 for each one, for each level. And you'll see it on the back page. I thought that you did see that. I'm sorry, I did not know that. So what I'm asking is for $1 increase for those positions and those positions only. And these are POC, people on call, paid on call.
This will be effective.
This will be effective after the budget is passed. And it's only a few $100, if it's that much, because of, we don't have so many firefighters that right now we don't have 1 or 2 emergency management associates. So, I just wanted to, I'm sorry for that, I thought everybody got one, but, and it'll show you what their rate of pay was and what it will become.
Mr. Mayor,
there seems to be some problems with us getting, well, with getting attachments whenever we need to amend, ordinance or something like that. And I talked to you about it the other day. We're not getting all the attachments to the amendments or the ordinance or whatever. And then you said go to the village hall to get a copy of whatever we need. The ordinances are locked up in the front. We can't get in on the weekend.
No, we can,
So,
right.
and we don't have and we
there
don't
are-
know actually who to get the attachment or whoever from.
You mean
There's,
the
I
ordinance?
got one. I was
You mean the
thinking
ordinance, right?
ordinance or whatever we might need for what we're discussing. There's a lot of things that's missing when
Okay,
we
well,
get
the
there.
ordinance,
So, but no, my point is being that we don't know who to go to get what we're missing. Okay, we don't have supporting documents. And we could go and pull our own ordinance from the file according to Sherry. But the room was locked on the weekend, so we can't get in there. So I'm just saying, we don't know really where to get it from and how come we don't have the attachments to them. It's really hard to go and, this one say I don't have, get it from this one and stuff. We need to know who we should go to when we're missing something out of our package.
Well, these are new ordinances, though, so they
I
need to
know.
be in front.
I know, even if we had old ones and stuff, it just brought up a whole gamut of things when I was looking for the attachments. I said, we just have to have, we need to, yeah,
Okay.
general.
I'm going to discuss that at general comments on number 5,
Okay.
and I will discuss that at that time. I'm going to finish with this part here, so you can kind of, so you can stay on track. But yes, that's something that I will address when it gets to comments from the Board of Trustees. Now, you do see what I was looking at, and I'm going to bring it, you see there's $825 for a probationary firefighter, and I'm going to bring it to $925. Bring it to $9 to a probationary member of the ESDA, or Emergency Management Agency. So that's what I wanted to bring it to. Like I said, right now, $6.25, $6.50 for on-call emergency management personnel. So you can kind of look at this. If you have any questions, please come see. But I would like this to be incorporated next week. And then someone was asking when we could, when would this take effect? It'll take effect as soon as the budget is passed.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Under the chief coordinator for the emergency management agency, it's saying right now that they receive $10 per call. Is that plus $100 a week stipend already in place, or is that something
Yes,
you're asking
$100,
for?
yes, that is already in place, yes.
So you're asking to increase the $10 to $11 for that person, or what are you asking for?
For that person, it would go, okay, right now, I don't know how it happened, right now, the coordinator was getting $6.25.
Okay, so I'm sorry, if you don't mind then, because for the fire department up ahead, up
I see what
above,
you're
it's
saying.
prior and
Yes, it
proposed,
is.
and it's
Yes,
not
it
like
is.
that for EMA.
Yes, and I see that. But he was getting the same amount as a member.
Okay.
And so now, that person, the chief coordinator would get what you see here on the side would be the actual amount. It wasn't split up that way like it is up top. This would be the actual amount. It would go to $9, $9.50, $9.75, and $10.
Okay, so to be clear, all emergency management resources currently receive the same $6.25 per
Yes,
call, regardless
right,
of their level?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, that'll be on the agenda also, Madam Clerk, for the next week. Strategic plan of progress, I still feel, I know I put it on the agenda, but I still feel there's some things that we need to really go over. But I'm not gonna keep pushing this it's been on the agenda since we took office. So I'm giving it another couple of weeks, and then we will, because I want to tweak some things at the end of that. And if anybody else has any questions or comments, that's why I bring it up at every meeting. Please let me know. Everyone does have a copy of the plan. So if you have any comments or any questions, please let me know, and we'll look at them. I'll look at them, and go from there. So this will not be on the agenda next week. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are staying abreast of what's going on. D, recommendations from the Ordinance Review Committee. Trustee Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I didn't know it was going to be on the agenda. But, and I'll tell you, because the first one, the first ordinance that we want to do, we did go over that in our meeting. The second one, we've not met on that. Our meeting will not be till Monday. So we don't have a recommendation as far as the ordinance amending the expense reimbursement. I was going to discuss that on Monday, and then, I could get back with it. But this, as far as the standing committees, there's a couple of things, because I want to come to you with those. But the one for the housing and intergovernmental relations, we think that should be two separate committees, two separate standing committees, and that's what should be listed on this. The other thing is, we were talking about the Public Service Committee, and we feel that, like, with the public service, like our village engineer should be part of that committee, Kevin Wallace should be part of that committee because of what you're doing with the committee. But I know you and I talked about, you said they would be the liaisons. Like, Bernice would be the liaison of that committee, because if you were to meet with the village engineer, it costs money to do that. But if there's some, we've got to figure out something to put in here so that we know that that's who's involved in this committee, that she's going to the engineer and Kevin Wallace, because it has to do with their infrastructure. Is that not correct, what you're doing, Bernice?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we want to word it correctly so you know what's going on with the committee. The same with the public safety, that you would work with like the fire, the fire chief and the police chief and ASDA, that they should be part of the committee. But again, we talked and you said, okay, they could be the liaison, that you would be the liaison for these committees, for the departments.
And actually, when I was reading this, I was, just my 2 cents worth, right? I was okay with how both of those read, because really, any one of these committees has the potential to liaise with any of the departments. So, for instance, I've got public safety, and you wouldn't necessarily think public works comes into play from a public safety perspective, but there are instances where it does. So in that case, I'm going to reach out to Kevin, and I wouldn't expect that to be here, but I know that's okay because it's within the remit of public safety.
Which is great. I mean, this is why we're going over this, because as we discuss it, we might look at it one way. Now, I know that, do they still have safety meetings every month?
Yes,
Okay. Because that's one of the things,
and I spoke to.
Yeah, I just found out about this today.
Oh, okay. But that's why I'm asking. Also, when it comes to the housing and intergovernmental, I guess we need an explanation, because we need to really split those two and make it two standing committees and not as one. I realize you have one trustee over it, but I think it should be two separate.
The reason that it was that way is because a lot of times you have to reach out to other agencies to perform your housing committee requirements. I mean, when we're doing housing, we may have to go to another government agency like the state or the county to get resources and to ask about grants and to apply for such. And that's why, hence, intergovernmental. Because it's not just Sauk Village, whoever, the person in charge of that housing would have to go to the county to ask for funding or to ask for things that we need to make sure that particular committee can be done. That's why it was never two, that's why it was just one. Because it really is intergovernmental.
And housing as one.
Housing and intergovernmental as one, correct. Because they would have to go either the county or the state and to ask them for help Also to ask them, could they do their due diligence so we can take care of some of the housing problems that we have versus the demolishing of some of these properties that we have here. We have to go outside of our government and go to a different taxing line, basically.
Okay.
To ask that question.
The other thing, though, I would like to bring up, we have not codified these ordinances since 2013. And this is something you need to look into, because it is frustrating when you're trying to find an ordinance. But we need to be up to date and have one central location. And that's something, with the village clerk,
You want to work with the village clerk to make that happen?
right, because we really need to get it codified.
That makes sense.
I don't know what it costs, I'm sure, Margaret can find out what it costs, but we need to be up to date, because we're talking 4 years.
Okay.
So that was one of the things we did talk about, that it needs to be codified, so. And I'm willing to work with Margaret to get that done.
Okay, and then bring it back to the board, if whatever the board, the village needs to do, then, yes, but you're right. I mean, the trustee needs to find something, they know how to find it, either online or whatever. We have to wait for one person to be around to ask.
Because it's very frustrating trying to find the ordinances. I mean, you're looking here, there, and everywhere. So that is the recommendation, that's what I'll work with Marva on that. But this other one that was on there, if we could just put that off to our next committee on.
Which of them?
The ordinance amending expense.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is it that you have a problem with?
Well, you wanted recommendations. I don't have a problem with it.
Because all we were doing was amending.
Right, well, here's, I guess, what we need to clarify. When you hand the ordinance over to me, are you wanting my committee to review it and get back?
Or I want your committee to review
Okay,
it and get back. If it's an amendment, are you comfortable with the amendment? And then the board would vote on that amendment. In other words, I'm not asking you to say we should or shouldn't do this. That's what the board does. I just want you to see the language and how it's done to make sure that
Right.
everything is, okay, that you feel that everything is in there.
well, I understand the difference between the amendment and when you have when we present an ordinance. So if you're gonna hand this over and you want our committee to just review it, make sure that the language is correct.
Right.
But our committee has not met on this one, because it was given to me after we had already met. We're only meeting for the second time. So if you're asking me to, the committee to review it, we've not done that yet. We're not meeting till Monday.
Okay, let me ask you, okay, then we have time, because it has to be amended before we can do anything with IML. It has to be amended before that.
Oh, it'll be done, I mean, Monday is when we.
No, I'm just saying, so that means do we put it on the second week of August, correct?
Right, whenever the next committee on the roll is, which would be,
No, but I'm saying, okay, the next committee.
if you want to discuss it, or we'll put it on the agenda to be voted on.
That's what I was
I
gonna
mean,
say.
if there's an issue, I'll let you know, but I don't think there will be. But that's what I want to clarify, is when you hand me the ordinance, are you wanting me to go before my committee?
Yes,
Okay.
and also, yeah, we won't be having a meeting on the first Tuesday of the month, which will be August 1st. But we will have a board meeting, and it can be put on that agenda if you don't see anything that's going to be a problem.
Oh, okay.
I have questions on these two ordinances. Sorry. Under the Parks and Recs paragraph, it says that this committee will serve as the sponsor of all village community events and shall be responsible for planning and hosting such events. I wasn't quite sure I understood why we were putting that on just one committee when each and every one of us can have different events that we're involved with and should own those individually. So I would like to consider that we,
Remove that.
reword that or take it out altogether and just put a generic sentence in there to say each committee is responsible for their own events as defined by the trustees responsible.
Okay, what I was trying to do, I was trying to give a quick summary. It's not like these have to be in law, and these have to go word for word, because we all know what Parks and Recreation and Youth Services do. We all know that. So, and it says the committee will serve as a sponsor of all village community events. That is a broad statement. I mean, we can have that taken out if that's the case, but I don't see, we can have the word all village community events taken out. But then it won't be, in other words, they would just, we can just take that out, period, and we know Parks and Rec puts on several events, and most of them are.
Or you could just say most. I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of, we've got one coming up where
Yeah.
Parks and Recs is not the sponsor.
Correct.
You know, that's why I was like,
Right.
hey, ding. you
Okay,
know.
well then we can put down, and now have it rewritten most.
So that was that ordinance. On the other ordinance, I was actually asking the question why we were bringing this up now. And then reading, this is the expense ordinance, the item B on the agenda under D. You know, and just my 2 cents worth again, and, you know, since you took it to the ordinance review committee, I think you probably had something in mind that you thought might need to be
No, I
looked at.
just like the ordinance review committee, that's their due diligence, is to review.
Okay, so my 2 cents worth is, given the current financial state of the village, I would like us to consider getting rid of per diems and ask for receipts for reimbursements instead.
Well, basically, that's what when you get anything, I don't know, 2 of the trustees haven't gone away, and I think you have gone away too before. When you get a per diem, it doesn't mean that you actually get to keep the per diem. If your receipts, first of all, have to be eligible. Second of all, they have to add up to that per diem, and if they don't, then you have to give that amount of money back. That means you owe the village. So it's not as if, you know, we're not asking to, when you go away, for someone to pay it themselves. We're sending you away. You get a per diem per day, and if you don't spend that, then yes, you owe the village that money the following when you come.
Okay, so thank you for that clarification, because in a lot of other organizations, a per diem is just that, and you don't have to give it back if you don't spend it all.
No, you have to pay. You have to fill out a expense report when you come back, and bring your receipts.
Okay, thank you.
Please
for
bring your
clarification.
receipts, because word of mouth is not going to be enough. We have to show that you actually spent it and it wasn't eligible. And as you can see, it's not for entertainment, alcohol. So it's basically for your meals on those particular days. So if you get so much each day, make sure if you don't spend that much that day, that the next day you don't want to spend $300, because I didn't get a chance to spend it on the first day. So each day has to be separate, and you should have receipts for each day. And if they don't total to that amount, then you know you owe that much back to the village for that day.
Regarding public service, also, you want to include the engineer and Kevin Weller also should think that the finance director should be included, because there are some things that he knows that, you know, we have lean periods or whatever, what money's going to be available for infrastructure repairs or something. I understand that we're supposed to go out and try to look for funding elsewhere, but the finance director knows a lot, and he can give us some insight on where we can get some funding, and also how much the village has available for that particular project. So we should include him too in public service.
When you, I'm trying to understand what you're saying, because only time I would see you using in public, you said public services, is using the finance director. I don't understand, because you do have a finance and budget director that's, well, not director, but trustee. So if it's something that's going to consume more of his time, I'd rather for you to go that route, because coming in every day to day, and then he's doing other things, and to take time away to keep answering those questions. You may have those questions answered easily by Trustee Grant. And but now quite naturally, that's why he's working with the finance director. But as far as the engineers, at $166 an hour, and I just got a bill from them for $25,000. And it was just for 32 days of work that they did. And it was only a few things that were tip eligible. So I'm trying to keep those costs down. I'm trying to be on top of everything that's asked. But when you make a phone call, you better believe they charge you X amount. And I think the minimum they charge is a half hour. So if they have to do some research, I'd rather for you to go through me and let me know that you get ready to do this, so I can kind of keep track of what we're spending and how we're spending it. That being said, a lot of times with the finance director, Mohan Rao, a lot of things that, you know, you may be able to get answers, then and he may not take away from his time, or you may be able to get some answers from Trustee Grant, because he does spend time with him. For that reason, they have a setup, a certain time that they speak every week, so they've already, he may have covered that, I don't know. But I would like, if we're gonna go out and talk to the lawyers or the engineers, I need to kind of know first what we're gonna be saying. Not saying that you cannot, because I don't have all the answers, but I would like to know at least if we can take care of it before we go there, fine. If not, then yes, that's what they're there for.
Oh, yeah, I stand like an engineer. First, I was more concerned about doing some financial direction.
Same thing, I mean, well, financial direction, I mean, if you need to find, I mean, I don't know what financial direction you would need when it comes to other than pricing. And Kevin, I'm sorry, the engineers would know, but I don't know if Mohan would know. If you're trying to find out how much a pipe costs, or how much it would cost to acquire, how much it would cost to fix this or that, Kevin Weller would kind of be the
No,
best.
I have all that.
Okay.
Well, you have to see, this concerning the loop and how much the
I
different
didn't hear
loops
you.
cost. It concerns the loops and how much the different loops cost and where we would have money if I had to go out and look for that money. So those are kind of things that we talk about.
Now, you said loops, if you talk about loops to move forward to Lake Michigan water?
Well, these are just thoughts, I haven't even put it in on paper, it's just thought that I was reading over this real fast, but she mentioned the people that should be on the committee, so this is about.
Well, that committee is your committee, so whatever you decide, you know, if you need Kevin Weller on there, by all means, talk to him. If you need him to be on your committee, you know.
So do you want that submitted, but do you want that written in on the standing committee?
I don't want,
Okay, then
no, I
we'll
don't
do
want
that.
that on the
I just had one thing that I want to add onto the ordinance review committee, and it's that all the ordinances that are passed or amended for updates be submitted to the village clerk to be sent for codification. I'd like to see that on ours, that's what we're going, that we'll do.
You said, what do you mean?
I want to just, on the standing committee, so that we have a little brief description. I'd like that.
Oh, you want that wording on yours?
Yes,
that what you're saying?
Yes, I want to put that wording in there.
Okay.
And then once I do that, who do I submit this to so we can get this changed?
Submit what? I mean, if you change, you're actually going to be changing the
Right,
word.
if I add wording to that, then who do I submit it to get it typed up?
Oh, if you're gonna add that, if you just add that wording, then you submit it to me and we'll get it. I'm not gonna let the lawyers, because the standing committee is
Right,
standing.
right, and I'm all for saving money, I
Yeah.
understand.
I
I
mean,
just
that-
need to know who do I hand this to say, okay, we need to have this
Okay.
added or
Give it
typed
to
up.
me and and then this way we can disseminate, or we can actually have it, I'll have it taken care of. And it's just, all we do is adding words to that.
Right.
So you can, yeah, that's not a
Right.
problem. Okay. So the reimbursement, we'll hold off, you'll say, that until August. And also, I guess we'll have to hold off that, because you're going to change the wording. That's August too. Okay. Item E, phone, mobile phones for trustees, trustee Tate.
Mr. Mayor, I don't know why I missed it on that. Whomever is proposing mobile phones or whatever this is, I simply stated that I wanted to comment on it because I've had some contact regarding mobile phones. Not that I'm going to make a presentation on whether we should have or not. I don't know whose idea this is, but they should be making a presentation on the pros and cons of the mobile phones.
Okay, well then what I'll ask the question is this. Are there any other trustees other than trustee Brewer that wants a cell phone? Then that's it. Item F, student government governance.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So if I get a mobile phone, then they can just take out the landline. There's no use for the landline.
What landline?
The landline on the desk.
No, they're not gonna take that out. I mean, that's been there since before I was, well, since the building's been here. Why would they take that line out?
Nobody's going to use it.
But you're not gonna be the only person there forever. I mean, the landline is there. I mean, if you're not gonna use it, then, I mean, you're not gonna get, how are they gonna contact you if they call village office?
On the mobile phone.
Is your mobile phone that you're gonna get gonna be on your card?
Yes,
You gonna get a new card?
yes.
Okay. F, student governance opportunities.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A representative from the school board and I met last week regarding what we would normally call student government day, but now we want to call it student municipality government and student educational governance. And the reason why we're looking at two different names for it is because we're really looking at hosting two separate days. One over here for the municipality and all of our administration that makes what we do operational, but then we would also, the following week, have one for the school board and the principals and everything, where the students would emulate and follow them as well. We're still looking at students completing applications as well as an essay. We're looking at involving the 7th and 8th grade students at this point in time. Students on their application will have an opportunity to state which is their preference, the educational opportunity or the municipality opportunity, and we will grade them and then assign positions accordingly. We want them to really look at themselves and what their aspirations are, what motivates them, and based on that, where do they see governance, our operations, assisting them. And we will be developing a very stringent rubric. We have asked that an English teacher from the school district be on the committee, but then we're also asking for the partnership committee to join in on it as well, and anyone else that would want to. We're looking at 2 dates in December, the 18th and then that following week. But if not December, it can be, pushed back to January if you guys feel that it's too soon to plan and implement.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. You stated on your committee that you would have a teacher. Okay, as far as the village is concerned, I don't see a problem with student government day. But what are you asking the village to do when it comes to District 168 and vice versa?
Well, we have to approve them being here. We have to approve that we will, vacate our seats and let them sit in our seats and do all of that. So we have to, have that partnership so that it can take place. Because if you don't say yay, then we can plan as much as we want, but we wouldn't have a student government day if we weren't working with the students.
Or maybe I'm not making it clear. I mean, as far as the village, are you asking for the village to provide outings, to provide any monetary assistance, volunteers coming for when it comes to either one, either the school or the village, because you're doing two now. You're gonna have one here in the village, and you're gonna have one in the district, I guess, I don't know, one of the schools, I don't know where it's.
168 at their board meeting.
Okay, so it'll be the school board and then the village.
Correct.
So what I'm asking basically, what is it that you want, or you need the village to be part of for the village aspect? Transportation-wise, planning activities, anything like that? Are you asking for, I don't know, that's what I'm asking.
I'm not prepared to respond totally. We've had one meeting up to this point, but prior to moving forward with plan development, I thought it necessary to bring before this board to see if it's something that I should continue planning.
I mean, I don't see.
But I don't have any price points at this point. I don't really know exactly all that we're going to do. We just know that we want to have, and we thought that it would be beneficial if youngsters have an opportunity for municipality governance as well as what's happening with the school board and how it transfers over to the education that they're receiving.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not the board, I'm just the mayor, but my question would be, and I'm sure they would want to know what all implies, how much, because if they say yes, or they say go forth with it, then you come back and say, this is what it entails, we need this person. We need to know if that's some of the things that you plan on doing. Are you plan on taking a trip? Are you plan on doing
The lunch and group.
Right.
Very similar to how it was before, but not necessarily 100% as it was. But I don't think that we would want to do the complete planning, lay everything out, and then receive from you a no.
Okay.
So I just really want to know.
It's not up to me, it's up to the board.
Well, when I say you, I'm talking collectively.
Okay.
I just should we continue on with the planning process.
Now, do you want this to be on the agenda to be voted on?
If you're prepared to vote on it, that would be fine. If not, it's a discussion.
Okay, well, the board is here.
We have students that are attending school in Stager. Is that school district going to be included?
That's a possibility.
There
There are students that are residents. Yes, we talked about that before. So yes, and I'm happy that you brought that back to my recognizance. Thank you.
My concern would be we're approving a budget that does not include any financing for those activities. So if you want to go ahead and plan this, you're going to have to figure out fundraising to go with to support whatever expenditures you might incur.
Thank you for that information.
Anybody else have any questions?
December, that's the plan for it?
We were looking at November, December, but then at the board meeting last night, they thought that November was pushing it too much, so we thought December, but I know that customarily we've been having it in like April, March, or April, or something along that line. And we're open. You know, as I said, we had one meeting last week, just two of us. And so we're open to other suggestions, ideas, and input. And if anyone wants to work on the committee with us, you're more than welcome. But what was your reservation for December?
No, well, you said the 18th or the next week.
That's Christmas.
Right, it'll be in Christmas and then kids will be out for the next 2 weeks, correct?
So it would be really for the school board, it would be that Monday. For us, it would be the Tuesday prior. So with any time, we would go first on the Tuesday, then the following Monday, we would have it at the school board Tuesday. That's when the school board meets, the Monday after our Tuesday board meeting.
That would be Christmas.
No, December 12th.
You talking?
We're looking at the
before?
12th and the 18th.
12th and the 18th. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, we can, you would like to have it on the on the agenda for next week to be voted to continue or to actually have a student government. Now, we can't vote with, what I'm trying to say is we can't vote on what the school board is going to do.
You're only voting on.
That you would like to basically have a student government day here in the village.
At the municipality, yeah.
At the, for the village.
Yes.
Okay.
So should it be on the agenda
Well,
or
you-
just?
It needs, if it's going, you said you wanted to be voted on, that we do that. Is that what you were saying?
That's fine.
Okay. That means that they'll give you the okay to do it, and I'm sure you'll come back with some kind of budget to let them know.
Thank you.
All right. Item G, Senior Advisory Council, Trustee Brewer.
I wasn't aware. Item G here is discuss financial policies and procedures.
Hey,
That's H.
Bernice, if you can remember on Friday, you questioned why it was not on the agenda, so I turned around and I went and I said I was pulling the agendas from everybody's box, and you said that's right. And I said, you're on the agenda. And you said, okay, I'll remember.
Well, I'll remember.
Okay.
Anyway, the final draft was given to all the trustees, and I got comments from everybody. I just got comments from trustee Brent this evening. So my question is to you, what direction do you want me going now? It's finished, it's ready to be voted on, and everybody gave me the comments. They have been added except for trustee Grant, and I can give a final version. So where do we go?
My question is, in order for it to be voted on, is this, whatever it is, you said you got some more comments. So is it final or is it not final?
It's final. The comments that trustee Grant gave me is, I think, like spacing. There's nothing major in there, so, you know. What?
So in other words, you wanted to be voted on as is?
Yes.
So in other words, as the,
Right, yes, I do. So we can move forward with this.
what put it on the agenda to go on?
I've not provided feedback.
I didn't give them my comments.
That's my fault, so I do need to review it.
We can't, you can't, it has to either be voted on as what you have presented, because if there's any changes, then that's not a true vote. So if you feel you need more time with that, because right now the center is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, weekends go through May. So if you feel that that's it, and you're ready to present that to the board to be voted on,
Yes, it'll be ready for Tuesday to be voted
no,
on.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're gonna change anything in there, then you need to disseminate it and give it back to the trustees and see what you changed. Because they're gonna vote on what you gave them unless.
I'm not going to change anything. Only thing I'll do, I see trustee Grant gave me something with spacing errors in it. And the young woman here is something you want me to take out? Trustee?
No, it's just things that I had questions about.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to change the content in.
So nothing, that's what I'm asking for. Is there anything that needs to be changed, or is it gonna be, do you want it on the agenda as the way it's written?
Yes.
And, okay, so does everybody agree with that?
Well, I provided feedback, and what I think, and I don't see anything change, I'm not sure if you changed anything, Bernice, on this, but there are questions of what's in here that I had. So, you know, I think it needs to really be discussed, if you want us to vote on it, as to what, you know, with our feedback.
That's what I'm asking,
You
because.
want us to discuss the feedback?
Right, because,
Okay.
in other words, you wanted feedback on this, but nothing's been changed, so I'm not sure why we did feedback. I'm just asking, you know.
So that's what I'm asking you. Do you want them to vote on what, either up or down, or what they have in front of them? Or are you going to consider any changes that any trustee made and put those and redistribute it to the board to see any changes. Give me one or two things, and that's what I'm asking.
Okay, I made changes of all those. We probably don't have an updated copy of any thing that trustees gave us except for Kate. I just got his now. And the content will not change that much. We could discuss it next week.
We can't discuss it next week.
Okay, well, we can vote on it, whatever.
No, I'm not saying we can't discuss it next week. Either it's what you have, and if you say someone has I'm just telling you, you're running the risk. If there's someone has some changes and those changes aren't on there, then that may not be okay with what's in there.
So do you want to wait till you get all the comments back before you?
Only somebody have to add comments to this from trustee Davis.
Trustee Todd just stated that she
Ties has already been done.
Trustee Zupan said she hasn't given you any feedback.
You said you didn't have no change.
So when are you gonna have your,
I will read it tonight.
Oh,
But the thing is, the whole board won't know if you changed it because they're voting on what they have in front of them now. You cannot give it to them and not be able to discuss it and then vote on it, and everybody didn't see all the changes, haven't had a chance to discuss it. That's why I was asking, does anybody here have any discussion on what they have or what they see? And if not, and that's why I asked you as the liaison for that, because it's either that or yes or no. And if it's voted down, then we continue to be doing what we've been doing. But I'm not going to close the Senate. So it's up to you. If you feel that it's ready, then we can put it on the agenda. That's what I'm asking.
okay. Trustee Zupan, when will you have your changes?
I will read it tonight.
Okay. And I can get the changes from you?
I will send an email tonight.
Okay, and once I make the changes, I can give everybody a final. And it'll be ready for Tuesday. This was the same thing we talked about last week.
If you change anything,
Mm-hmm.
then your board needs to discuss those changes. They saw what you have. Obviously, they don't have anything with that. But if you change it, and they look at it, they're not going to get a chance to discuss it next week.
Well, after next week, what's the date?
The next time you can vote on it will be the second week in August.
Well, then
That'll be August 8th.
Mm. That's what we'll do. Phil?
We don't have a committee meeting.
We'll have a committee meeting.
No. Yeah, on the 8th, no?
The next, the next one.
The 8th of August is the next one?
No, 15th of
The
August, next board
15th is
meeting.
the next one.
It's the next.
15th, yeah.
Well, everybody will have their final, once trustee Zupan gives me her comments, and then we'll have it ready for the 15th.
Of August?
Yes.
Okay. Is that okay with everybody on the board?
And apologies for the delay. That's definitely on me.
Okay. It'll be on August
And,
15th, August 15th meeting to be discussed.
And I want to ask, do you think that the policies and procedures should go through the ordinance review committee? Because there's a section in there that addresses section, chapter 30, 3501 that needs to be amended. So, wondering, does it have to go through the ordinance review committee?
No, this is, okay, no, you're suggesting basically policies for the seniors.
I understand that.
But you're not changing any ordinances.
No,
You can't change the ordinances in that.
I'm not trying to change
Okay,
the ordinance.
but
I said, don't you think it they should review it? Because I think there's something in there that pertains to chapter 30, and it should be, I guess, reworded or
If
something.
you're footnoting a ordinance,
Mhm.
then that's what it is. It's a footnote. In other words, you're referring to that ordinance in your procedure. I'm sorry, in your policy and procedure for that. If you're trying to change that ordinance, now it's a different thing. But you're not changing. All you're doing is using the footnote, referring to that ordinance for whatever it is that you have in the policy that you want the student, I'm sorry, that's the
So just note
for
the,
the senior citizens center. And I just want to say that, I mean, we're not trying to, by all means, I'm not trying to make this complicated to govern the seniors. I mean, I'm hoping that we can make it as simple as possible, that I saw some programs that need to be in there. But we don't need to make it that you have to give blood and belong to, you know, all types of non-for-profit organizations just to have a small committee or group or whatever. That's what the problem was before, because that's what we ran into before, as you know. So we're just trying to make it simple, that we open it up, have programs on this day, and then have the rental done a certain way so we can protect the village. But I'm not looking to be so exclusive that you have to show all types of memberships and be registered with the state to do A, B, and C just to come over there and utilize that. That's
Well, I understand that, but on page 9, it indicates we're gonna have an increase on the rental.
okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, section 3501 has a different amount in there, so this has to be amended. This part right here has to be amended.
If you're gonna raise the rates, you don't have to amend anything, you just raise the rates in your application. You don't have to amend any ordinance.
I think it's set there, and we don't have to.
Not if you're gonna raise the rates, no, you don't have to amend it, or, I mean, the word is gonna stay the same. I mean, if you want to have that done, but like I said, I'm just looking to keep it simple.
I'm simple.
And you got 4 pages, 5 pages.
I got 12.
Okay, 12 pages, I'm not simple that is. But I'm just saying, you're just trying to keep it so the seniors can come in, enjoy at any time, and then you set certain parameters. I mean, quite naturally, you know, you can't have any alcohol, you can't smoke, and you should kind of curtail food in certain areas. And then quite naturally, when you have the place there that you keep it clean. And if you want to have a group, the group needs to be registered with the committee, whoever that may be, that they can, at least the committee can look at them and say, okay, well, due diligence, who you are, where you're doing, and what's going on. In other words, have a reference point. But as far as disseminating keys and things like that, I don't think that anyone should if the person wants to have a key, okay, fine. It's not that, then you just make a person responsible for that. And there's a committee that can do that. But I saw some things that I was kind of looking at, and I'm like, non-profit organization. I don't know many senior groups other than those that are registered with the state are not-for-profit. But if you get a bunch of people that say, okay, we want to come there as a senior, and we want to be there on Tuesdays to do whatever, or rent the place. And we want to, because you have one that rent the place, you have to be a not-for-profit.
No, not in here. I'm in agreement. No, anybody can rent it. If they got funds, they can rent it. I'm in agreement with you, but
okay.
No, that's not in here.
Shouldn't they have to be seniors?
no, anybody can rent the center.
Okay.
Well, but are we, okay, so I'm gonna ask that question then. I thought the senior center was for seniors. And if somebody else wants to rent something, isn't that what the community center is for?
Well, right. Right on the senior center.
But that's not what the senior center is intended for, in my opinion. It's for the seniors. That's why we have to.
But no, because people,
What's the
seniors
clapping
rent.
for? I mean,
Okay, seniors.
what's the
Senior
clapping?
renters for the seniors.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I was just asking a
Senior-
question.
Residents rent this, senior center for different reasons, weddings, repasts.
But they're
those
seniors,
sort of
and that's
things.
okay.
But no, not all of them are seniors. This is my prior, they have been renting that senior for repasts, weddings, parties.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take exception to non-seniors renting it
Okay.
for non-senior events. Okay, me as one trustee. One question I do have is I'm leafing through this casually, and I would ask for the other trustee opinions. It says the council shall have control over all financial planning and all revenue collected on behalf of the center. I'm not comfortable with that as written, because I think we should have a general ledger that is assigned to the senior committee /center. That doesn't mean we can't have one though. I mean, I'm sure our finance director can create a GL for that and track those funds. This should be, you know, just like any other line item that we've got, where we've got revenues coming in and expenditures going out, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody else has some
That's a
thoughts.
question I asked.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I brought that up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever conversation you guys had, it's still written as is. So were you comfortable with this as it's
No.
written?
No, because I mean, that's what we discussed, and it wasn't changed, so. Yeah. But, and also to add to that, it seems on the application that you got, but as going through some things with summer camp and other things that I ran into, if you had someone from the outside come in and they wanted a program for seniors, they would need their own insurance.
Yes.
I mean, as we're going through it now, it's not stated in there, and I don't even know if that's an ordinance or anything that, you know, that we have on the books already, so. But that's something that may, since you touching on it, you may want to include, provide your own insurance and such. This is something that, you know, that was just thought about today, but,
Alright. Okay.
I mean, because, I hear everyone saying, you know, this is pretty extent and it's lengthy, but they're keeping it simple, but it's a lot of legal stuff that you have to go through, and you may not even have enough stuff in here if the village want to be completely free and clear of any liabilities. So, I mean, that's something that I'm gonna have to talk to you and the human resource, because it's making a lot of the situation of getting programs into the community center very difficult. It seems like a micromanaging deal that's going on, and so in correspondence with that, you may want to, we're going to have to sit, because I'm going to have some questions. I'm pretty sure that it's going to end up affecting, a lot more things that's on here. Because, I mean, if you have, I would like from the human resource person, application for vendors. If you have any vendors come out for any reason to the senior center, they would need X amount of information, insurance, whatever, and that would come from the human resource, because I have no idea what will keep us out of, litigation or keep us safe. So this is something that I feel human resources would need to provide for you, for me, anyone else in their committees, if you're going to have any extra entertainment or anything. So.
Well, I think in the past though, and this is going back to days before you had ownership of the Parks and Recs committee, another trustee had already addressed the liability and insurance question with their rental agreement. As I look at the mayor, Mr. Mayor, do you still have that documentation somewhere, or has that changed?
Well, it's still, well, I think someone revised the rental agreement, but I had the original. But I think someone revised it, but yes, it should be something stated in there that you have some insurance, especially if you're gonna rent it.
Well, this is before I became a trustee. The issue was at the time that the former senior committee was requiring that the groups, whatever group comes in there, get a $500,000 policy. And at that time, I remember talking to an attorney. He said that's not true. The village covers it. So we might want to go back and talk to the attorney. It covers some things when groups are in the senior center. So, I'm sorry. So, it covers some things, our policy covers some things when we're in the senior center. And the reason it wasn't put in there is because the senior committee at that time was requiring a different organization to have a $500,000 policy. That shouldn't be. So we might want to have something addressed in this that covers insurance, or if they have to get their own private insurance, which I don't think is necessary, according to what I remember from back when we had the situation before. Since Jones brought it up, that's something we might need to talk to the attorney about.
But there's a difference between village-sponsored events, and that's where the village would assume the liability with their own insurance coverage versus someone renting one of the venues for their own
I know
event.
it's a difference, and that's what we talked about.
But you still have to have insurance.
You still have to have insurance.
If you're renting it, yes, you should.
Not even if it's a village-sponsored event.
So that's the question.
I haven't read into that.
In regards to Parks and Rec, when we had programs, especially tournaments, we had them sign waivers. Now, that waiver just basically tells us, or tells them that we're not gonna be responsible. Just a piece of paper. Person falls, gets hurt, they signed 15 waivers, they still may try to sue. All you do is have a piece of paper saying that you knew ahead of time that you're on risk, but however, that's just that. When it comes to the senior center, you have insurance against someone tearing something, knocking the door down, hitting this by accident, and we have to replace that. That's what that is. Will it insure you if someone get in there eating some food and get sick?
And find out.
I don't know. But it's basically ensuring that when you have your event, that if you do tear up something, that you're covered. And that we don't have to come and do whatever we have to do. You have insurance, we go after that insurance to fix or replace what it is that you broke, a window, whatever the case may be. That's what that's in there for. And that should always be there. The village doesn't just, especially if it was an event that was put on by a private organization or whatever.
So is the Bluegrass, that's a private organization?
The Bluegrass is, well, the people that actually do it are residents, but the Bluegrass itself is from all over, yeah.
So are they required to have insurance? They host parties on Sunday, and so if someone gets hurt, is that the village responsibility?
No, if someone gets hurt, that's their responsibility, and I think they do have insurance. I wasn't part of the, and I can find that out, it's not hard to find out. But I figured since they've been playing for I don't know how many years, that they do have insurance.
They don't have insurance.
Pardon me?
They don't have insurance.
Oh,
No.
okay, well, I need to find that out. I didn't, because they've been in there since I've been in the village.
They
Going back
said
and
40
forth.
years.
But we'll find that out. That's not a hard thing to do.
So we should add something in there about insurance, and the attorney's gonna address it, or what should we put in?
I don't know what kind of language we
I don't
put
know
in
what kind
there.
of language either.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, you want to pass this, and I'm just saying, if you want to spend the money, then have the attorney look over it. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of things in there that they would probably question, but it's going to cost. It's not going to cost a little amount because you have so many different things, and they have to go each and every little.
Don't you think this should be, well, that's an important issue to be addressed in here, and it should be included, and,
It's up to the board.
well, okay, well, that's one issue that we should add
It's up to the
on,
board. The
along with
board
the
wants to
senior-
send this to the lawyer. After, see, here's the thing. You want to send them a final copy. You don't want to send them something that you're going to try to amend after you get it back. Say, oh, wait a minute, what about this? So if you have all your pieces of the pie in place and then you send that to them, that's one thing. But if they come back and they change or add or delete or whatever, and then you say, oh, well, wait a minute, we forgot to add this, now I guess what you're doing.
Oh, I understand what you mean, but I don't know how to add that language for the.
No, I ain't talking about language, I'm not talking, they're gonna add the language, if that's what you want them to do.
Those one thing, I could ask them to add the language for the insurance.
So you can ask them to look at what you want, tell them what it is that you want. Then they can take it, I mean, you can tell them what you want.
Since we're paying for the human HR, wouldn't she know the language as far as insurance and know what to expect to keep us from going to that point?
Possible, yeah.
Well, you gonna leave the same language for his park directs, the same kind of language?
Oh, that's gonna have to be addressed, I mean, but.
I mean, it's up, I mean, if you want, I mean, I'm pretty sure HR would know some of the things, but I'm just saying. But you don't wanna go back and forth with everybody. You wanna make sure whatever you send to them is what you want. You want them to look it over and add or delete anything that may or may not be legal.
Because, the reason I'm asking about that is because we got one of the dog roasts coming up, and I ran, like, the problems we ran into with summer camp, I don't wanna have to run into that at the last minute. As far as one of the dog roasts,
What would you have to run into with the
vendors, anyone coming out that may want to put on any type of extra, I mean, any business that come out, they would have to have some type of vendor.
You want them to, because if someone gets sick or something, that's
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You want them to have some type of license.
So who would, have we had any type of vendor,
We have vendors before.
or whatever?
I wasn't privy to that, but we have had vendors.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand.
And they should have had some type of license or something to show liability. Because if something happens, then who's liable? Because I'm not looking at it as.
So what I'm saying is we need a universal application for any committee that would have any type of function that's put on, so that if they're gonna invite someone out, that everyone would have just this universal application to fill out.
Well, doesn't the business license cover that?
We have a vendor's license, we can check on that. We have a vendor's license, so I'm gonna check to see what it actually says. I haven't read it, but there's a vendor's license. And then we get that to you before you can do it, because you want that vendor to be at least self-insured or something in case something, we shouldn't have to take responsibility for everything that happens, so. It should be at the front office. Where all licenses are, so it should be on the committee to develop.
So is it my understanding that on the August, what's the date again? 15, the changes will be done, and we have discussion on sending it to the attorney for insurance
Okay.
languages and uniform applications to.
Yeah, I don't know if we really would have to go that far. Like I'm saying, if we could get the information from up front and communicate with the HR.
Okay.
I want to tell you the legal
So, yes, that's what's been happening.
No, I'm telling you, if it's about, a kid gets hurt at the community center, HR cannot tell you the ramification of a lawsuit of that kid getting hurt at the community center. They can tell you it's not a good idea to have a little bit every dollar, but
They will know what language to put in.
And it'd be the same thing if a senior gets hurt in the senior center, so we need to find out.
Okay,
What
well then-
language do we use?
Okay, well then we'll do this. What we'll do is on the 15th, discuss it.
Okay,
And if the board feels they want to take this to the next step, which would mean going to the lawyers, then we can do that. And we can discuss that then, and then hopefully the lawyers will come back with something before we can start at that time in our office. Is everybody okay with that? All right, H, the financial policies and procedures, I think, Finance Committee is still working on some things that they want to change. So it's just like the strategic plan is ongoing, so it will be wrapping up pretty soon, so,
Well, Mr. Mayor, just a minute comment. I think that you did say you want to vote on it, so if you want to have something in place, that's fine, but I'm letting you know now that the committee will be bringing some amended changes in the second meeting in August, I think, 15th.
okay.
So the trustees will look at it, and then it'll be another month or so, we'll give you a month to review, and then we can vote on it then. So if you want to vote, that's fine, if you want to hold off, that's fine as well, it's your choice.
I'd rather hold off until they get a chance instead of keep going back and forth, so that's why I'm giving it such a long time, so it can be looked over, so it can be discussed, and anything else that needs to be changed, it can be. So then once we do vote, we don't have to keep going back and forth. Same thing with the strategic plan, making sure that we get all these things, everything out of the way. That was something I came up with a while ago, so it may be pertinent, it may not be pertinent right now, some of the things that we're talking about. So it's just something I keep bringing up each and every week. So if there's any comment on it, we can discuss it. But I'll wait until I'll say until 15th to bring it up again, and then that gives your committee a chance to look at it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
The 15th.
I have a question. Since we're gonna look at the language for the insurance, for some reason,
The language is what insurance.
the insurance for the senior center,
We're looking at the language
if
for
we're gonna discuss
the
that.
policy.
per policy.
For the policy.
For
that
policy
you
insurance
submit.
included, right? Instead, there's no municipal code or anything that addresses, I'm asking this question, that addresses insurance. Do we have anything like that, or ordinance that address the insurance of public buildings?
There's orders for public building.
And
This
insurance.
is something, my question I wanted to ask you, did the outgoing or other senior committee have a policy?
No. If they had one, I couldn't find it. Nobody gave me copies. They had something in draft, but was never signed off on or anything like that.
So there was nothing that they had, they had to have something to run they were running the senior center on the something.
Well,
They had a
that's why it was
board.
all that chaos over there. There was no written procedures that I could find, okay? And I asked the former
There was
mayor.
no board. There was a board, I
There
know
was a
that.
board. They had something draft, but they never finished it up. They didn't have a chance to finish it up because the new administration came in.
So they didn't have anything all those years
I don't,
prior to that?
they didn't give me anything.
Okay, I'm gonna check and see if I can find anything, because that'd be kind of helpful to let you know what they had. Just like you do when you do ordinances, you have one you amend. So I was just wondering, did they have anything
Well, they didn't share it with me.
that they govern those committees with, or govern that?
No.
Because I know they have a senior board or whatever.
You know, there was nothing in government.
Okay, well,
You know,
I'll try to get those, if I find some, I'll try to get it to you, if not, then I won't. All right, before I go into public comment, oh, she's gone. Okay. I was going to introduce the school board president, but she's not here, so. Public comments, all questions and comments will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may make a comment on any matter pertaining to business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. Please state your name when you come up, and for the record, so we can know when we do the minutes, we can make a comment.
Kathy Betcher, just a couple of things on this insurance discussion. We have insurance that covers the buildings that we have here, that if anybody gets hurt, they're covered. Then they should be able to purchase a waiver for whatever event that they have, which would go through us, $25, whatever it is. The vendors that are coming for the events, are they paying to come to the event, or are they being invited and we're covering them. That's the other question, because I can help you with that. But they have an application to fill out they should be carrying insurance themselves, and they have a business license. So that should cover that. The other thing I want to discuss is our corn roast. If we can start advertising that now, that might generate a little more enthusiasm about it. Put it up on the marquee, put some signs at all the entrances, and put signs in the stores, take an ad in the paper. If we're going to raise money, we need to advertise. And that's my comments.
Thank you. As far as advertising at the marquee, unfortunately, we have the marquee. I mean, we can put it up there every now and then, but I can't leave it up there from now to September, because we have other things to advertise, but we will get it up there. And also, when it comes to the license, for vendors to come in and do business in the village, yes, they should have a license. And we do get those out to them. In other words, when they come in, they should have a business license to do, because they're actually doing business. So it's not fair for that vendor to come here, we got these businesses that are here that have to pay license. So yes, that's part of it. And you're right, we do have license, we do have insurance on the building.
And the waivers should work.
And the waivers would be, you're absolutely right, that's the word I was looking for. That's all a person would need, is a waiver for that one day, for those particular hours in that place, and they're not that expensive for $500,000.
Even for the seniors.
Anything. So they're not that expensive. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Jackie Glaze. I still want to know how much Mary Klopp, Mary Escobedo, and Joe Wizawati are being paid. Why is it so hard for you just to tell me how much they're getting paid? After all, they're getting paid by my tax dollars. I would also like to know if Mary Escobedo had a background check, which she's supposed to have because she's dealing with funds. I received an e-blast for Nights Out. Unfortunately, the e-blast didn't tell me where and what time. If you could tell me that, please. The Bloom Township is having their senior picnic on August 3rd from 10 to 3 p.m. You can go to Bloom Township Hall and purchase your tickets. They are $4 for seniors that live in Bloom Township. On August 12th, the Crossroads Church of God is having their back-to-school bash and giveaway for the children in Sauk Village. It will be held at the church from 10:30 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon on that Saturday. That's it.
Okay, as far as the background check for Mary Escobedo, not only did she get background check, she has to be bonded. So all that had to be taken care of because she will be the treasurer. And as far as the salaries, they are online in the budget, because I don't quote, because I don't know exactly, because I don't want to say one thing and it's a few dollars more. So the exact dollar amount is in the budget under administration.
I don't look on computers.
Okay, well then, I'm sure there's a budget here at the Village Hall, so if you want to come up tomorrow, because I don't have a budget in front of me, they can definitely let you see the budget, because they have a copy of the budget. I don't know if anybody here has a copy of the budget. No. Oh, you do have a copy of the budget? Okay. Well, then after the meeting is over with, then they can give you a copy. I mean, they can show you what it is. It's in the budget.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Linda Washington. I want to say, first of all, that Mayor Burke, you made a statement a couple of weeks ago. If anybody is still on Facebook or doing anything to defame the village, anyone to let you know about it, and I will let you know about that after the meeting is over. But I want to take my 3 minutes for that. But I do hope that the Sauk Village Legislative Board can move forward with governing the village and get off of Facebook talking about people and what they're wearing and what they have on. It's just crazy. It makes no sense to continue to do it, because all it does is continue to tear the village down. I feel that it's a travesty that we are paying people out of the tax dollars of Sauk Village that continually, physically, and financially tear this village down. There's a notice that I want to read that was out of Chicago Heights. Village sticker notice, city vehicle stickers no longer a requirement.
The mayor and city council passed ordinance 217-6, amending chapter 28 of the village of the city code and repealing the city vehicle license fee. As a result, the city no longer requires residents to purchase new or renewal vehicle stickers. Lori Wilcox, city clerk. And I just wanted to applaud them, and I hope that we can move in that same fashion. Sauk Village needs to find ways that we can help the residents feel better about where we live and better about what's happening. There's been a lot of break-ins. I personally have been getting a lot of phone calls. I don't know of any youth programs that's in place that can take these 1,700 youth ages 21 to 3 and give them something to do during the day and possibly even on weekends. But Chicago Heights have relieved some of the burdens from their residents. They no longer have to have a village sticker. This is on the village sticker, on the village door by their clerk, Lori Wilcox. And I just think that, I don't know what they're doing to take away all of that revenue, but whatever Chicago Heights is doing, maybe we can collaborate and find out what we can do in Sauk Village. Although the former administration voted to take the $1, you all voted to put the $1 back. So we are constantly doing things I feel that's not helping the residents. Talking during the meeting, 3 things tonight on the agenda. People that were supposed to talk about it said that they weren't prepared to talk about it. They were on the agenda to talk about it. I'm just hoping that we can really move the village forward for the residents, because the things that I hear and I see, and people may say that's just Linda Washington, but I did this when Louis Talbot sat in that chair. I talked to David Hanks out here as well as back there, and what I'm doing is the same thing I did then. And on Facebook, they're talking about the book bag gate, like they did the travel gate. I didn't use a dime to raise money for book bags. And now people are using the same tax dollars for salaries, taking money constantly out of the water fund, voting for a frivolous accounts payable from 2013 all the way to the 31st of July 2017. Really? And you worried about how we raise non-tax dollars for book bags, and you all up here voting on these frivolous things. It's just, it makes no sense. You got villages, so they don't have to pay for a village sticker. That's thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They figured it out. I wish you all would do that and take care of the business of the village.
I just have one comment, and I hope that you can really understand it. If you really believe that they gave up their revenue for their sticker, then I'm sorry for you. There's nobody that's going to, it's probably incorporating their water or something that they collect each and every month. So if you believe that they gave back that amount for that sticker, I didn't ask for a rebuttal, I didn't ask for an answer. I'm just stating the fact. If you really believe that they gave up their sticker money and they no longer, they gave that revenue back to the village, that's sad.
Talk to David Gonzalez.
Yes, I've already did yesterday. Yes.
I did today.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Stephen Shimkus, 48-year resident and former senior board member, and also author of the updated senior policy, handbook, and procedures. So they were all completed. And I think that Madam Trustee FOIA'd all the information she needed that she got from the senior board. And she doesn't need to FOIA anymore. She doesn't need to say that it was incomplete, because it all was. Now, if she wants to use it as a reason why she doesn't have something done, you know, that's just not true. Everything was completed, and she got every document that the senior board was FOIA'd and given to her. So, you know, she can't hold anybody responsible saying it was chaos, or it was not chaos. I was there for a year and a half, and everything was up to date and the way she wanted it. And I don't know why she's saying it was chaos. I didn't see her there at the meetings saying that there was any chaos. Maybe she didn't like the way it was run, but how is she running it? That's just my comment.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a couple questions. My name is Myrna Pearson, and I'm a resident of Sauk Village, and I do pay my taxes out here, and I also work for the school district out here. Question for you, Mr. Mayor. I disagree with the proposed for the senior building to be used for only seniors. I think everybody should be able to have a chance to use that building for whatever purpose. Since we do pay our taxes out here, it should not be limited to just seniors only. One other question for Ms. Pewitt. On the educational programs, what type of educational programs?
You want her to answer that? I mean, you said what
I-
type of education?
I could not.
What type of educational programs are you referring to? What do you mean?
What she was mentioning earlier, it was hard to hear what she was saying about,
Student Government Day?
yes, to where they were talking about in the school district.
She was referring to that they were going to disseminate Student Government Day here, and then also have Student Government Day at Rico, well, 168.
But what does it pertain to?
Student Government Day is basically when the kids run the government for a day.
Oh, okay.
They come here, in the village, I know what they do, they come here and we actually have a board meeting and they conduct the board meeting.
Okay.
So I guess they would do the same in the District 168, they have a board meeting. So the kids would actually, the students would actually be the board members for that day.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, general comments from the Board of Trustees. I'll start with Trustee Tate. What you got for us?
My comments are twofold. On the dais, you see some different colored jars. Each jar is labeled in honor of a branch of service. You'll also see a jar that has question marks on it. That's because the volunteer that's helping raise funds for this is going to have various raffle gifts. So we're not sure exactly what they are, but that's why you see that. These are the tickets that we have. There's flyers on the back table that talk about the tickets. I will need, hopefully tonight, a volunteer who's going to stand up and let us measure him or her to get their arm's length. The arm's length is then going to determine what we're going to give out, the number of tickets we're going to give out for the rest of the time. So it won't be 20 tickets today and tomorrow is 10 tickets. Once we get that measurement, that's the number of tickets that they'll give out if they decide to go the arm's length purchase in lieu of the single ticket purchase. Now, the jars, I will be here early every committee meeting, every board meeting to sell these tickets. They're twofold. All you do is place your name and telephone number on one ticket, one half of the ticket, and you place it in one of the jars. The other you keep for yourself so that when the raffle is held during the corn and dog roast, once the numbers are announced, we will have your name and phone number to contact you with. So that's what you see the jars for, and these are the tickets. And I still need a volunteer that's going to let us measure him or her to find out what their arm's length is.
So I'm sorry, how are you going to do the tickets then? $1 a piece, or are there other,
The tickets are $1 a piece. On that flyer, it says $1 a piece, and it says, I think, $10 per arm's length. That's how they're going to be sold. I hope I'm saying the right amounts. I don't have a flyer in front of me. Okay, $1 each and $10 per arm's length. I just want to volunteer. I don't care who it is.
I suggest him, stand up.
What, to give him a paper?
Thank you very much.
No, stay up there.
No, we
Measure his arm.
No, I have to have a tape measure.
Use the tickets.
I'm sorry.
Very
To the shoulder.
On the top.
Yes, it does. It's on the top.
Yeah, to the shoulder.
On the
You
top.
guys are being cheapskates.
Start on the top.
This is a fundraiser, we gotta sell tickets.
Hold on for it.
How many tickets?
Silence.
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 tickets.
Okay, so when you purchase your tickets, the arm's length of tickets is 20. Thank you very much. There's 20 tickets. Again, make sure you write your name and phone number on the ticket that you deposit in the jar. That's so if you win at the raffle, then we'll know how to contact you in case you're not able to be at the corner dogs. Thank you, Miss Betcher. She came up with the idea of having the raffle, and she's producing the blankets throws that you saw a couple of weeks ago.
And can I add to your comments, we still have a few board members that if they're gonna contribute towards the supplies for those blankets, if anyone brought their money this evening, we'll take that.
Okay. The second thing is, and I'm gonna pass these around.
If I buy tickets today, how would you know which one of the jars I want?
You place them in whichever jar you want
So you're gonna have jars out every week?
every week.
Thank you.
Okay, what's being passed around was submitted during the last administration. It was not approved, so we did some revisions recently to kind of bring it up to date. And what you have is the resident handbook. And people have been coming in asking when is the garbage going to be picked up and where do I pay my light, my water bill, and all those good things. So hopefully that's answered in the resident handbook. It's formatted a little differently. And you can see this is a copy, is bound, and that's what we plan on doing with the rest of them. The trustees, the ones that you have, they're stable, they're not bound like this one. So that's what we plan on doing. What I would like for everyone to do, take a look at the document you have in your hand, and since we'll be here on the 15th, to come in and discuss any changes that you see there. And I want changes. By the way, this was put together by the Housing Committee. The changes that you will provide, please skip that Christmas is after Labor Day or something like that. There's a section in there that talks about holidays, the village hall is closed. So just pay attention that we're talking about the holidays. We're not talking about chronological or anything of that nature. But take a look at it at your convenience. Have your comments by the 15th. Bring them with you or give them to me prior to then so that we can review it. The Housing Committee will get a chance to review what you submitted. So I think that's the two things. So the jars are here. Buy your tickets. Thanks, Mr. Harvey, for volunteering your arm. So buy your tickets. I'll be here early on the flyer. I think it says 5:45. So I will be here early. You can buy your tickets then, or you can wait until the day of the corn dog roast. And I'm going to get with Trustee Jones. We plan on having some tables set up, probably in the parking lot, where you can purchase tickets at the last minute, put them in the jars, but also the table with the extra raffle gifts will be available for you to see that also. So that's all going to be going on the 16th of September, which is at the corner dog roads, which is in the back of the municipal building. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Tate. Trustee? Oh.
Now, can someone just buy one of the throws outright?
Yes.
She said yes.
Yes.
And what are the fees for those?
It would be $100. 50 of it would go to buying material. The other 50 would go to
Thank you.
Trustee
But,
Grant?
I'm sorry, just to follow up on that, Kathy, is that gonna be an additional
It would be
blanket that would be
additional
purchased,
blanket.
would be made? Okay. So we definitely will have one of each of the various departments of the service, and then if anybody wants to purchase one on their own, on top of that, and separate from the raffle, they can do so. Thank you.
Question, what is the question mark on? Which one is that?
Well, I'm working on something a little special.
All right.
And it's going to be a surprise.
A few things. First thing is that the Budget and Finance Committee will be meeting tomorrow at 7 here in the Rotunda. Second thing, I do have the $20 that I owe Trustee Zupan. She's been harassing me or calling me.
Is there a late fee?
No.
$20.
Thank you.
And third thing I just want to mention is that I had a few residents ask me what they're concerned about the recycling pickup because they said they put their recycling can out and for a couple of weeks in a row and nobody took it. So I asked the village clerk to please send me a schedule, what she did. And so I will be gladly giving that to them, but I'm just not sure if everybody's on the same page when it comes to the schedule, because I think it's been a few weeks and they've been not been picked up. Just FYI.
I'll tell you what, can you get the schedule to me? And what I'll do is I'll contact Republic to make sure, because you're absolutely right, I saw No, I need to contact Republic to make sure we're on schedule. What they have, in other words, because I saw it where it went 2 weeks and then I don't know if the back off schedule or not. Mr. Schiff, because I can see you.
Okay, if they see trash in the recycle bin, they'll just leave the whole thing there.
Okay.
And then also, it's on your regular pickup day, so if you.
It is
it's a
supposed to
holiday.
be, but he's telling right.
Right, that's true.
No.
If it's a holiday, it gets pushed back.
Absolutely.
Just like people
Absolutely.
don't remember not to put their garbage in out, they still do that.
Well, what happened is, and that's with all garbage. If it's a holiday, like the 4th of July was on my garbage day, it picked up on the 5th. But the reason that it is, and that's what I want to find out from them, that it could be garbage on top. And if it's garbage, they can look at it as garbage, they won't pick that up. And what happened is if it's in that container, the regular garbage people won't pick it up. See, because they're looking at the blue can, so they're not gonna pick that up with the brown can, with the brown, so those are some of the things I want to clarify, and I'm gonna find out, I'll make a call tomorrow, but I need to get that schedule, see if they're still on board, in other words, if that schedule's still ready.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Bill, thank you. Trustee.
Thank you, Trustee Grant, for your funds. I will hopefully collect the rest tonight and get it to our volunteer so that she's got all of the funds she needs for purchasing the remainder of the blanket supplies. Real quickly, just to answer the one question about National Night Out, that will be Tuesday, August 1st. We simply sent that initial email out to get it on everyone's calendar. Another flyer will be coming out in a few days. It will also be going to the various stores and be out here in the front entryway as well. It will be from 6 to 8 that night. There will be different activities going on. It will be at the Albert Welch Memorial Veterans Park behind Village Hall. The fire department will have a demonstration. There will be some free items for the first however many people are here who would be interested in those particular items. There will be some food and water available and maybe a few other surprises as we pull those together. So that is definitely already in the works, and we've been planning that, and you should see more information in the next couple of days via the email system. And that's all I have.
Oh, okay. The senior center, as the mayor told you, is open from 9 to 5 daily. All you have to do is come over, sit up, and enjoy. To answer Mr. Shipkin's reply, if you have anything, copies of your policies or procedures, can I have a copy? I'll be more than willing to incorporate it. If anybody has, anything to share about policies and procedures regarding the senior center, I will take them, if that's available. The only other thing I want to say is that we're gonna try this again and have this ready for August 15th. It's gonna be on the schedule. And as far as infrastructure and everything, just got all the information back from Jim last Tuesday. So I'm sort of looking at all the data, and we'll have something for you by the end of August about the infrastructure recommendations. And that's the end of my report.
When's the next meeting?
I haven't had one yet. I just got the information. I'm gathering all the information, then I'm gonna have a meeting.
Do you need volunteers on your committee?
Once I get the information.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought it was too early, it's July, so I'm probably gonna take about a month to put all the information together. That's the end of my report.
Trustee Todd?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have an ordinance review committee meeting this month, Monday, the 24th of July, 6:30 here at the Village Hall. Also, we're always looking for volunteers for beautification. If you have nothing to do during the day, we have a few things to do. Thank goodness we do have a couple of volunteers for the Bloom Township. Actually, today what we did, because the state, and I really want to find out if it was the state, that cut over by McDonald's, and the garbage is unbelievable. And so we kind of put a dent in it, but we need help. And I'd really like to find out if that's what they did. It looks like they ran it over and then blew it in to the thing. There has to probably be 15 bags of garbage or better. I mean, big bags.
You talking about east of McDonald's?
Right across from Fairway. Because
East of McDonald's.
Yep, if you look even down through the curves, you can see garbage. So they went in and I don't know what they did, but it's bad. So I'll be out there again on Thursday with the kids to try and pick that up. But if there's any volunteers, we start at 10. I do give breaks. So, and there was something else. I think that is my report.
Trustee Jones?
Open gym, it's on the 29th, 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That's this month. Corn and Dog Roast, September 16th, 11 to 5.
Thank you. I just have one other thing to reiterate. For the National Night Out, which will be August 1st, we're going to have all of the department heads to come out. If you have questions about things that you didn't get a chance to ask in the village board meetings, or you have some other questions, please come out. Ask the residents to come out. Now's the time you can meet your department heads. And I don't know if Trustee Zupan stated, but there will be free smoke detectors given out courtesy of the fire chief. He told me it was going to be close to 200. So he'll have those. Also, the fire department, the police department will have they're going to try to have, they have a robot, and the fire department has a robot, that they may be out, but the dog, the canine will not be out on that, from the fire department, but we will have food and beverages, on that day. So come out, enjoy, and there will not be a board meeting August 1st, trustees, so I'm hoping that I can get the trustees to come out to the National Nights Out. So there will not be a board meeting. That's the first Tuesday in August. With that being said, I will, yes.
Did you address how we're gonna get our documents and stuff that we need, what we should be doing, or who we should go and see? You know, when we need documents, or who do we ask for our address?
You talk, okay.
So who should we?
That, what you talked about as far as you need documentation, if you feel you didn't get it, or when you get your information for the, either the board meeting or the committee meeting, and they should be ready by Friday, but if you didn't get it at that time, you could actually call the village clerk. She's here Monday through Friday, so I would say maybe Monday. And she can, you know, as far as the codes, the ordinances, she can, I'm sure, look them up for you. And also, hopefully, she can show you how to look it up online if you don't have a computer. But you can come up, most of them from 2013 on up front. And but if you're here after that, then I would suggest that you kind of call the village clerk and let them know that you don't have proper documentation or supporting documentation that you may need, or something that you need to research. 2001.
And the very first one.
Oh, okay, well, I was told 2013 to 17.
It's the last one, sir.
Okay, that's all I was told, that was fine. So yes, you can call the clerk, and I'm sure you have her number, or you can, like I said, she's here Monday through Friday. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Todd. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned.
Yes.